Hello. Sorry that I look like shit. It is really sweaty, and I'm really grateful that we finally got some summer. Only took them till autumn. But yeah, so the other day I watched my video back and I realised that it sounded quite pathetic. I said that on an old video too. But yeah, just an update on what's going on Planet Cares. So the other day, as I was saying that I got a thing, apparently that's panic attack, and it's only to be expected. You know, like I'm opening myself up. Been single for 12 years, in a bubble, in my own bubble, none shall pass type job. Didn't really have like mates to speak of, let alone open my heart up to a fella. Anyways. So, and then for that fella to turn around and attack me repeatedly, it disrupted with my chi. So anyway, yeah, my friend says that apparently the whole thing that I've had going on is a panic attack. Now, this all started last week when I first found out that what he and I had was one-sided. And he just dropped that bombshell, tapped away on his computer and fucked off. Ain't even gonna guess, right? But let's face it. Anyways, so I'm sitting there and he's just dropped this bombshell, and I just felt it coming out then. So I'm like, mate, this is my solar plexus. I know it is. I can feel it, you know, like, and I've always dinged it. So sorry, I'll get to that in a minute. So I went and got some Citrine, which is the solar plexus crystal, and placed it over it, and I was doing a meditation with it, and it went away. Anyways, obviously that was just as the bombshell was dropped, and then came all the abuse, and then came the going through and ticking off the red flags over the period, and you know, like feeling like an utter fool and going through all that fandango. Anyways, last night, still going through it, the throbbing stopped. I'm still feeling this thing, this sort of panic, this anxiety, this discombobulation is probably the best way to describe it. Yeah, so I thought that I'd do that again. So I got me, like, literally, I'm just walking around with some in my bra the whole time, just stay with me, stay with. Anyway, so, yeah, so I had this whole moment. Now, I might come across as, like, knowing some spiritual shit, because, like, literally, I was taught about the Freemasons and aliens and ancient Egyptian gods in my sleep. It's kind of spiritual, right? But I don't really practice this stuff very much. I don't sit and meditate, and I don't do this sort of stuff. But last night I thought I'd do that because I was on my own, and I'm like, right, feeling a little bit panicky, struggling to catch my breath, you know, like, because it is, I've been thrown massively out of my comfort zone. I had a 12-year comfort zone, and then all of a sudden it's like, boom, and it's like, now I know every planet is in fucking retrograde at the minute, and I think that's got something to do with it, because I feel like I'm being pulled out of one me, thrown into a completely different me. You know, like, everything around me is changing, and I feel really uncomfortable. My head's spinning, like, it's just, my energy is off to fuck. So I've got to do whatever I can do. So anyway, I sat here last night, and this is how, and like literally it worked, like literally I came away from this, wow. So I got my little Citrine and sat myself cross-legged, make sure I've got myself, you know, like, just sit comfortably as you can. And so I put it on my solar plexus with under my palm, and then put the other hand over the top like this and shut my eyes. Now, I follow this chap on YouTube, one of my favourite tarot readers, called Swimming Through the Void, and he always does a cleansing breath at the end. So I kind of like did that, but took it a bit further, sort of thing, you know, like, because obviously he only gets the chance for one breath, and I'm like, right, well, if I was sat with him and we were actually meditating together, I don't think he'd just do one breath, so I just spitballed it, right? So I'm sat there and just breathing in and out, like, now the way he does it is like, breathe in golden light from the all, keep it in your heart space, let it pulse through you, breathe out negativity, all like you're blowing up a balloon, breathe out all the dark energy and whatever. So I kind of like do that kind of thing. So I like, but I take a few breaths first just to get so that I felt like I was actually inside and I could just forget the world around. It was just me and the all, sort of thing. So I did some breaths, didn't pull the light down, but I did do some pulling in something and blowing out the negativity until all the black had gone, and then I pulled in the golden light and whatever, and I took it down into where this is going to sound like absolute shit to the people who think I'm a conspiracy theorist, and that's it. Sorry, I'm a weirdo. So like I held it there and I just imagined it like the crystal glowing and basically putting a protective barrier over my solar plexus to keep me in there. And, you know, like, and obviously by then I'd got none of the dark negativity in there to get rid of, so I could hold it there for longer and feel just this golden light just radiating out from my solar plexus. And then at the end, usually, like when I did it the other day, I just opened my eyes and carried on about my day, but felt better. Last night, I felt like I'd fucking been given 14 orgasms by Jason Momoa, mate. I was sat there, like, literally. It felt heavenly, like, literally. I had to breathe slowly and just relax into my chair before I could even open my eyes, because I just felt spent. Now, when I was 30 years ago, I used to work for 3M Healthcare. Yes, I worked for a pharmaceutical company. I've done many things in my life that have brought me to where I am. Anyways, yeah, and I used to work with a girl, let's call her Claire, for it was her name. And we got on really quite well. She was very, I've never met anybody quite like her, to be fair. Like, literally, mind you, there were a lot of unique people that work for 3M. It's like, you start working for 3M, you work for 3M forever, mate. It's the best place I've ever worked in. The perks, you know what I mean? They keep out their people happy. And yes, it's the salespeople who make the most wonga. Anyways, so this girl, she could read auras and whatever, and I didn't understand anything about that. I was only 20. And she's like, look, you know, you have to protect your solar plexus. And I was like, what's one of them? And she's like, you know, pointed it out. She's like, it's open, like, literally, it's vulnerable. And I said, well, what do I do? And she says, well, it can be as easy as just putting your hand on it. So these past few days, I've been going out of the house just with my hand on there because I felt so scared in public. It's so bizarre. I don't know why this is fucking happening to me. I really don't. I think it's the planets in retrograde and all that lot, and the change. There's something happening. Let's face it. So, and the way I liken it, to what I liken it to is, you know, like, have you seen Donnie Darko, where they've got like the tube sort of coming out like an umbilical cord from their solar plexus that pulls them in a certain direction. They'll link up with other people with it and whatever. Now, I've always had this thing. When I get speaking, if you ever watch my videos, you'll know, I go off on a ramble. And I actually feel myself opening up from there. So, like, if I'm having a conversation with somebody and they talk over the top of me, I just shut that down and I'll stop speaking. Is it not Thoth that said, Keep the secrets only for the initiated, and the door wholly shut to the profane. This is how I feel about it. It's like, literally, if you don't want to listen to what I've got to say, I'm shutting up. I'm saying, look, I'm sorry, wrong hand, sorry. We'll talk to them about this another time. Because, you know, like, I open up and it's not always me that's speaking. You know, like, especially back in the get-go, I used to watch my videos back and go, oh my God, why didn't I know that? And it's like, literally, you've just watched yourself say this. And it's like, yeah, but I did not know it. I didn't know it. I've just watched myself say it, and now it makes sense. It's so weird. Anyways, so yeah, so it's like, you know, like, if anybody does, like, cut me off when I'm in one of my spiels, I can feel it, you know, like the Donnie Darko thing, just like it's like they've just chopped the head off a snake, or like you've let go of a water hose on a fire truck thing, and it's just, that's how I feel, and I have to sit there and do that, and I've always done it. Do you know what I mean? I can feel that, and it's so bizarre. Because, like, obviously when it, like, I first really noticed it, I was reminded of what Claire said, and I'm like, mate, you know, there is something to this. There is, you know, like, we are way more than we can see, feel, and touch. We are energy. Every single one of it is energy. And again, it was a shit video, but I did do an introduction to bubble bumping, because it's like how you interact with other people's energies, and sometimes you'll ferociously bump bubbles. Sometimes you just rub each other up the wrong way because your energies are off. Sometimes you rub people up the wrong way, but it'll turn out you'll be the best of friends because you'll sort of like settle down, and it's like, no, once you get past that rough exterior and realise who you are, your core energy, it's like, no, mate, this is addictive shit. And you'll be like, yeah, this is exactly how I feel, and blah, blah, blah. Waffling. I'm going to stop waffling. I just wanted to say, you know, like, I'm grateful to the all, and also, obviously, I'm grateful to everybody who's being, you know, around me at the minute. You know, like I've mentioned them all before: Chloe, Roisin, Claire, Sarah, the other Sarah. Like, it's just, yeah, and I have a new friend, and I shall be talking about that in the next video. But for now, I want you to know that, yeah, it's all good at Circle K. I'm coming back, and hopefully soon planets will start going direct again, and something will settle down, because I just feel like all over the show. So if you've stayed till the end, fucking, I'm not worthy. Yeah, if you stayed to the end, I owe you a bourbet. Thank you for sticking with me. If you're a returning subscriber and you want a badge, let me know. I'll fashion you a badge. I make them myself, by the way. I'll fashion you a badge. All made hand individually by me. Such a fucking, like, artifact, mate. Artifact. This is a bonus, and they're free. And if you're not subscribed, please consider, and please consider liking and sharing absolutely any of my videos, asking questions, giving me your comments. If you've ever had, like, an experience where you've meditated and it's just knocked your socks off, share it with me. I'd like to hear other people's stories, because we need to be realising that what these bastards, yes, I've got it in there, what these bastards have bred us to behave like, what they've bred us to think we are, is lies. It's not, we're not just meant to be born, be taught by them how to go through every single day of your life working, because that's what's one of the main things at school is, obviously, teaching you to get up in the morning, work 5 days out of every 7, panic about it at night and go to bed knackered, and never expect anything better. Just sit and look at them and go, oh, wouldn't it be nice? No, we are way more than that. And when we find it out, when we talk to each other about it, when we communicate this shit, and we realise that we are beings of light, that we are energetic entities, then they're fucked, mate. That's why they spend so much time educating us to think we're identical. We most certainly are not, my darlings. We are made of magic, and they fear the day we find that out. So thank you for sticking with me, and I love you all.